My biggest fears as a blind person.
Reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high.
Hey everyone, this is Matt. Welcome back to another Blind to Billionaire video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing some of my biggest fears as a blind person. So let's get into it. My first fear is, am I contributing enough? So what do I mean by that? It's a question that I have for myself, and it is, am I contributing enough not only to my personal life, like my family, the people in my family, but am I contributing enough to society as a whole? Now, what do I mean by contributing? So, like from a family aspect, am I contributing enough like financially? Am I contributing enough around the house? Am I doing enough around the house? When I see my parents or my brother or his family or Corey's family, am I doing enough when I'm seeing them? Let's say we're together for a family gathering. Am I doing enough then? Am I helping out to, do whatever we need to do, whether it's prepare a meal, clean up afterward, or just anything around the house? Am I contributing? As for, am I contributing in society? Well, that's kind of a tough question because it's like, well, I don't really know. I don't volunteer. Like, what do I really do out in society? Am I contributing enough? Could I do more? Absolutely, I could definitely do more. So I'm always worried, like, could I be doing more out in society, and how can I do more? Like, what can I do to contribute and give back to the society that is also here, always supporting and being open to me? My second fear is, am I doing enough with my life? So what do I mean by that? Am I spending my time in the most efficient way? I realize we can't always be out doing something, being productive, being efficient, giving back, doing those types of things. I get that. But the main question is, am I spending the majority of my time doing something productive, and am I spending my time in a way that serves me, or not only serves me, but serves other people, serves society, serves humanity, serves my family, serves just everybody as a whole? Am I spending my time that way? And sometimes I look at my life and I feel like, gosh, I'm so busy, I don't really have time to even respond to YouTube comments in a reasonable amount of time. And then other times I look at it and I'm like, I sit around for a couple of days and it's like, man, I am so bored, I need something to do. So overall, I feel like, yes, I'm definitely spending my life sometimes in the way that I want to, but then there's also times where I feel like I can definitely do a lot more. So it makes me feel like, what can I do to make myself feel more fulfilled? And this has been something that's been going on for a long time. I've had these thoughts and these feelings for many, many years since my vision got to the point where I'm far less independent than I previously was in my life. And I always have the question for myself, like, what do I do next? Where do I go from here? What can I do? And it's a question I've had for a long time, and I've never really come up with a good answer for it. So someday when I come up with that answer, I'll definitely let you know. But I would say as of right now, I don't have like a solid answer, which I feel a little bit bad about, because I wish I had something more solid to kind of lean against and kind of give you information about, but I really don't at this point. But so that's one of my fears too, is, what can I do better to feel more fulfilled in my life, so that I feel like I'm spending my time and my life in the way that I want to. And not only that, but I'm giving back to other people as well with my time. Another fear that I have, moving on to the next one, is, am I a burden? Again, since I lost a lot of my independence, like 6-7-ish years ago, I feel like, am I a burden to people? And by that, what do I mean? Well, since I don't drive, I feel like, I always feel this way, and people always say like, oh no, it's no big deal. But I always feel like I'm a burden, like, oh hey, I don't drive. You feel like picking me up? Oh yeah, not only that, when we get to our destination, do you feel like helping me get around? And, like hold on to my arm, my hand. And then while we're there, do you feel like reading the menu to me? Oh yeah, by the way, can you like put my drink exactly right here in my hand? Oh, by the way, when we're done eating, can you drive me home and drop me off too? So those are some of the thoughts and feelings that I have. I realize a lot of people say like, oh, you're definitely not a burden at all, but I feel that way. And I don't really know what the solution is to feel better about that, but I always feel like, I feel like I'm somewhat of a burden because I depend on people so much. And lastly, of course, I have a lot more fears than this, but these are just a few that I compiled. But anyway, last one in this list is, do I feel like I am an adequate spouse? And at some point, if Corey and I decide to have kids, do I feel like I'm going to be an adequate father? Well, honestly, right now, I feel like, in a way, I am an adequate spouse, because I feel like although I don't go out and I work full-time job, I don't do that. I do as much as I possibly can to help financially in the family, but I also do as much as I possibly can around the house. So that's why I feel like, yes, I feel like I actually am an adequate spouse, but at times I also do fear that way. I do fear that maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not pulling my weight around the house. But again, I feel like for the most part I do, but again, in the back of my mind, it's always something that I think about. Now, in the event, like if Corey and I ever do decide that we want to have kids, do I feel like I'm going to be an adequate father? And that is something I have really struggled with. And the reason for that is, I mean, think of a little kid. What do they want to do? They want to go out and play and they want to do whatever. And I feel like when I spend time with my nieces, I have a couple nieces that are, under 10 years old. And when I spend time with them, they're always like wanting to do something. And I feel bad because half of the things that they want to do, I can't do with them. For example, they'll want to go outside and throw a ball around or kick a ball around, or maybe they'll want to play a game, like they'll want to play memory, or they'll want to play some kind of game. And I feel like most of these activities that all these kids want to do, I can't necessarily participate with. So it makes me feel really bad in the sense that someday if Corey and I ever do decide to have kids, I feel like I just don't know how I'm going to be an adequate father for that child. And Corey always says, "Oh yeah, you will be. You'll find ways to be." And I realize since I don't have any experience with that right now, I'm just relating to the nieces that I play with. But it's still something that really concerns me and possibly my biggest hesitation for having kids. So it's just something that I know that I need to work through. I know that there's a lot of you here on this channel who have kids and you're completely blind, or you're, like me, you're visually impaired and you have light perception and you're doing an amazing job as a parent. So maybe I should reach out to some of you and just get some direction and maybe ask you some questions about, a lot of these fears that I possibly have. So anyway, like I said, I have definitely a lot more fears than I'm covering here in this video, but I want to just give you a few that we compiled, and we'll probably do another video like this at some point in the future. But anyway, for today's shout out, I know I waited till the very end, but hey, the shout out today goes to Jaron Lumpkin. So congratulations, Jaron. He's pretty cool. You always see him down in the comments section writing. He's pretty funny. But anyway, if you have any comments or questions relating to any of this that I mentioned in the video today, feel free to stick those down below in the comments, and I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, if you're new here, I would love it if you subscribe, and be sure to stick around for the next shout out and video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.
You can't wait.